Welcome to Fade the Public. This is your host, Leo Herrera, on a mission to spread the truth.
Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo.
What's up, everybody? I'm here with Pete, aka Perez. This guy is a vehicle of positivity. I met him over here at Trump National Doral. He works out here, and the second I saw him, I saw the light. This guy is super positive. I'm so inspired by his attitude. Pipe, thanks for being here today.
Man, my pleasure, Leo. It wouldn't be any other place.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I did 35 years for the Postal Service as a letter carrier. I carried your mail for a good time. I enjoyed it very much. I was very into my community. A lot of friends. It was a great job for me. Technology kicked in, and it was time for me to go and let the younger people do my job. So after 35 years, I retired. And a year and a half later, I got a job here at Trump National in the golf department.
First of all, thank you for your service. I appreciate that. And I mean, you've always seemed to me as this vehicle of positivity. What is it that makes you show up every day so positive?
Man, I've been telling you, it starts with the house. My mother always told me, if you can wake up every day and get out there, make it the best day you can, and don't look back. Just meet, greet, say hello, be polite, and do your job. And when you treat people correctly, they'll treat you back. A lot of people are different. They might not be that way, but if you're that way, and you can inject people with a little bit of positivity, it goes a long way.
Yeah, that's powerful. It's all about you being the change. You can't try to make the world change.
100%.
Yeah. And what were some of the values you learned, growing up that really informed your character?
Well, my growing up was kind of tough. It was, my mom raised two kids, me and my brother, single mom. Tough times, but always had food on the table and a roof over the head. So she always taught us, a penny earned is a penny saved. And I carried that my whole life. And if I wouldn't have done that, Leo, I wouldn't have been able to retire. Because, today's society is expensive. So if you carry yourself in a proper way and don't over budget yourself and control yourself in the department that you should be in, life will take you where you want to go, but you have to have that right attitude. You can't just, woe is me, why me? No, let's go get it and let's go do it. And it's out there to go and get it.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
No, it really is. Life flows like that. You just got to put yourself in that positive headspace, positive bubble, and all those things start coming to you.
It's like we've all had it. We've had days that you're like, man, why did this happen? Why did I get the flat tire? Or why did I lose $20? Those things happen for reasons. I'm a strong believer in reasons, man, because everybody wants to put bad on things that happen to them and kind of wish it bad on others. Don't do that.
Yeah. Don't
do that. If somebody gets a new car, praise the car. Don't say, man, why did Leo get the new car and I didn't? Because your car's coming. It's coming. It ain't happening now, but it's coming. And then you'll see how your life starts changing and things start coming into its own way.
Yeah, that's so true. And life is full of coincidences too. And I like calling them God incidents.
Oh, I like that one.
Where it's whatever happens, you never know. I mean, and even the worst things, it's life kind of trying to teach you, are you really willing for it? I mean, are you ready for this? And it's even the hardest times that shows your character the most.
100%.
So what kind of attitude do you wake up with every day?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I wake up fired up, man. I take a shower and I start sweating because I get to work and I know. I said, well, today's another day. Let's see. To be honest with you, my job is amazing because I get to meet and greet people from all kinds of parts of the world. And sometimes some athletes come in there and, people are like, oh, be careful, here comes Charles Woodson, or Albert Pujols was here the other day. Man, you treat them the same way, and guess what? They treat you right back.
Yeah.
And so when I wake up and I'm like, well, let's see who I'm going to meet today. You see what happens, and you know, I get in there at 6 in the morning and start yelling, "Hey, good morning, boys!" And they're like, "Hey, Pipe, can you shut up for a little while? I'm still asleep." I said, "No, brother, it's time to rock and roll. Let's go."
Yeah.
You know, so that's my positive way of waking up.
I love that.
Yeah.
It seems like you're just really appreciative of every second of life.
Man, I'll be honest with you, Leo, and this is not to put a sour note, but if something happens to me tomorrow, I have nothing to look back and say, "Man, I didn't do this and I didn't do that," because I lived every moment.
Yeah.
I lived every moment, and I'm happy where I'm at. And you know, it's like you say, positive attitudes, man. Just keep going straight, keep going.
That's amazing. And it doesn't matter what situation you're in, whether you're broke, whether you're rich, it doesn't matter.
It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with it, because you can be broke and still be happy. You're not gonna have the finer things in life, but those things are coming.
Yeah.
If you keep on that track, those things are coming, man, because somebody's gonna open the door. And I'm a strong believer in that.
There's
Somebody's
so many
gonna.
people out there.
You don't know who's who, man. You don't know who's who. So just keep be nice, be polite, be up, cheerful, and somebody will say, "Hey, Leo, you want to come work for me?" And that's the opportunity.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
the
and
opportunity.
it throws at you like with like the strangest people sometimes as well, the
100%.
ones you don't expect.
100%.
You never know who you're talking to, ever.
Yeah.
So it's always about treating everybody like you would treat yourself.
Exactly.
So you and me both know there's some sour apples out there.
100%.
And what is the wisest way that you deal with them in order to not affect you, but also you try to make a good vibe at it?
Well, I'll relate it to where we work at. We work at a golf country club, and I see a lot of young kids trying to, become a professional golfer. And sometimes when I talk to them, I get a little bit of like, I don't know. I go, no. Listen, your life can change in 1 week. You don't know what happens in that week. You could see stories on TV. Matthew Fitzpatrick yesterday.
Yeah.
God bless him. I mean, I rooted for him because he's never won here. But guess what? That's it. He crossed it. He had that 1 week of ball striking and putting. So don't give up, man. Don't give up on what you're doing, because the soon as you put doubt and you say to yourself, "Man, you know what? I don't think I'm good enough, or I'm not going to make it." No, you keep going until you can't go no more. And then when you say to yourself, "I gave it all I got," and you didn't leave nothing in the tank, then you say, "Okay, it's not my turn."
Yeah.
It's not my turn.
And I feel like I got something to add to that, because I almost feel like it's that doubt that makes me want to go for it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, I don't feel like we can eliminate the doubt, because it's hard. Like, I mean, as much positivity as you want to give out, there's always going to be that little voice that's like, am I really going to do this?
There's always that little cloud.
But it's that little cloud that it makes you want to go out there,
Because you turn it into a positive. There's
Yeah.
other people that, and then here come the haters. "Hey, Leo, man, I don't think you're good enough." Why would they say that? Because they're not good enough.
Yeah.
Because they never, how can myself, that I played golf for 30 years, I enjoy it, but how can I tell you that you don't have it? I've never been there.
Yeah, I think this is a topic on being enough. A lot of people, like yesterday, for example, I asked my boy, "Who do you think is going to win the U.S. Open?" And he said, "Will Zalatoris, because I feel like he deserves it." And this thought came in my head. I'm like, but everybody there deserves it.
There you go. That's a good
how
point.
can one person deserve it more than the other?
That's a good point.
And that's with everybody. I mean, everybody deserves everything.
Mhm.
Just simply because you exist.
Right.
There's no reason to.
Right.
I mean, you're put on this planet to what? To not deserve anything?
Oh, and you're put on this planet to also, for you to drive that vehicle to where you want to get to. Because if you're not driving and you're in the passenger seat, you can't complain.
Yeah.
You got, "Oh, this is what I've been dealt with, and this is what I got." But if you take the bull by the horns and says, "You know what? I'm going to drive the vehicle," it takes you where you want to go. Sometimes it doesn't, but if you have that attitude and the positiveness, you're going to try to get there, and you'll make it, man.
Yeah.
Maybe not in golf, maybe in enterprise, maybe in a self entrepreneur. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know who's going to pick you up or what to do.
Yeah. And life always, I feel like it has a plan for you already. Like, it's like you go out there and you do whatever you think you need to do, and you'll be meeting the right people, like doing the right things, whether it's you're playing golf right now and you met somebody that's the CEO of this company and then you started working for them and then you became the CEO one day. It's like
That's your calling.
that's your calling, and
That's
you
your
just
calling.
never know.
You know.
And it's so important. Like you are being that vehicle of just positivity. So like the right things come to you because you can block it. I mean, it's really about surrendering, letting go, and like not trying to influence it too much. People try to control it too much.
I would like to add to that, Leo, is when you wake up in the morning, man, wake up and go and enjoy life, bro, and enjoy it. Enjoy it. If you're gonna go practice, enjoy it. If you're gonna go to work, enjoy it. Say your good mornings. A lot of them might not say good morning back, but my mom always said, listen, you say good morning wherever you go in, and if nobody answers, that's their problem, but you said it. And if you start off like that, it's a light, man. It's a match, and lights the fire. So start off hot in the morning, man, and just keep going, and things will change, bro. Things will change.
Yeah.
Things will change.
And I'm an early bird like you. I love getting up early and just going for it because it makes me, it fuels me up. And a big topic that I want to talk about today with you is about care.
Right.
And why do you think it's so important for people to care about being a positive influence? I mean, at least today with the world and how it's going on today.
Man, Leo, because it all comes back down to karma, man. If you treat people good and you care about your fellow person, that person dominoes to the next person and the next person. And if that domino keeps going, man, I mean, it's gonna only get better, Don't treat people like you want to be treated. And that's caring. So if you do that and that relates to other people and those people carry that over, you've done your job, man. You can only do what you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
But if you pass that over and that person picks up something and keeps going with that, then we're in a good place. We're going to be all right.
Yeah.
It's going to be all right.
And when we talk about care with people, but what would you have to say about care for the things that you're doing? Because I feel like a lot of us place our attention. I feel like placing our attention is what we care about.
Right.
So it's like we place our attentions on things that aren't for us, and we know it, but we still do it. Why do you think we still do it?
Man, because that's that little demon in your head, like that word you use, doubt. You use doubt to fuel yourself. Other people use doubts to come down. And there's always going to be that part of life that's the obstacle that we have to jump over.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And I'm sure you've had that shadow over your life for a long time. How'd you deal with it?
Man, to be honest with you, Leo, like I said, man, you wake up and, I mean, I haven't had gravy my whole life. I told you I'm raised by a single mom with a brother, and it wasn't easy, but you start changing. When I first got my job, I got my job at 21, and I said, wow, that's my calling. And my mom, I was in college when I got that job, and my mom told me, listen, I think you should take off right now because this is where you're gonna end up. And when your mom gives you that blessing, you run, man. You run. And I never looked back. And I got the American dream, bro. I got to retire at 56. A lot of people are still working at 56. I got to leave. I'm not making mad money, but I'm living. And it's all about living in what you can live with. And that careness of positive has to carry over and instill with people that say, listen, just work at what you got. And maybe you can retire at 56 and start living life.
Yeah.
That's what you can do, man.
No, totally. And I want to understand that shadow a little bit more because I feel like this is something that people got to get a little bit more clarity on. Because it's like, what is it? It's that little voice in your head that's telling you, that you can't do this.
Well, first of all,
where does that voice come from?
Who are you surrounding yourself with? If you're surrounding yourself with one or two negatives, man, that brings down the shit. So I made a point to myself years ago, and this is me personally. If I have a friend that's weighing me down, man, is he really a friend? Or is he a foe? So you gradually start deviating from him and connect yourself with people that are positive, and that starts taking away that cloud. Because there's people that are in your cycle that they're like that, and they want to bring you down because they're down.
Yeah.
And man, I'm not that, man. If I see a young kid trying to be something, I'm gonna pump him up, man. I said, man, don't stop. Don't stop. Don't let nobody tell you to stop. You know, and keep going. But if you have something in your cycle, and analyze it, you know, talk to yourself, because I love talking to myself, because I'm always talking to myself. And I said, man, you know, is this guy really a friend of mine? Or is he just miserable and trying to make me miserable? So I try to avoid those kind of people.
So I want to ask you this question. It's a little deep.
Go for it.
Do you feel like we're here to make friends or feel connected? Because, I mean, I feel like we're here to feel connected. Like
I think that's a marriage, friends and connection.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a marriage. You first start out with a friendship to see what kind of person that is, and then after that, the connection part comes in, and the saying like, "Hey Leo, you know, I like the way you conduct yourself. I love your attitude. You're like a smart kid. I want to do something with you," and that's the connection part.
Yeah.
But I think if you treat people the way you want to be treated, and you start, because friend, listen, that word friend, that's a fine line, my boy.
Yeah.
Because there's
what defines it, really?
yes. Well, you know when it defines it? When it hits the fan.
Yeah.
And I've had 2 instances in my life that hit the fan, and 2 of my boys represented hardcore. Those are my friends. I have a lot of acquaintances, and I love a lot of people, but when it comes down to the ugly, you know who your friends are, and you'll see them.
Your friends are your priorities. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would say, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, the reason I ask that is because there's a saying that says, treat everybody like an old friend. Where it's like, and I feel like that to me means like, you know, feel connected to everyone. Whether they're good or bad or whatever illusion you put on them. Like, just, and I feel like you're a vehicle of that 100%. Where regardless of who you are, you want to feel connected to them and spread that positivity.
I mean, the connecting part is just meet and greet, and it's, you know, on a daily basis. You're going to be connected to people, and just, you know, just spread it, man. Just, you know, good morning, hey, what's going on? What are we going to do today? You know, spread the goodness and the, you know, the hyperness, man. You got to be hyper. I'm a hyper person, bro. You got to be, you know, unless you're in an office, you can't be hyper in an office. But if you're outside, let me tell you, when I was a middleman, they knew when I was coming down the street, because I was either singing or whistling. So they knew when I was coming down the street.
I know when you're coming down
yeah,
the street.
you hear me. Yeah.
But, and I also feel like, I mean, I choose kindness to people because I feel like I can also come back and fight any battle that comes at me. It's almost like I have that strength in me, or at least I feel like I do, where I can handle anything that comes at me. That's why I choose to be kind. So it's not like, it's almost, there's a fine line there as well, where it's like, you can't be too kind to too many people.
Because you let your guard down.
Yeah, but I mean, you can let your guard down if you know you can fight the battle.
True.
Where it's like, you know what's coming at you, and you can deal with it emotionally. I'm not saying you gotta fight the guy.
No. We're not talking violence. We're not talking violence, right?
It has to do with emotionally, how you can deal with it. Where it's like, whatever comes at you, if you thought this guy was your friend, you chose kindness with this person, but then he betrayed you. I mean, It's
happened to me.
Yeah, I mean, it happened to me too.
It happened to me.
And it's like,
and it hurt.
You got to be able to understand how to control yourself, so it won't affect your life, affect your mood, and all of a sudden you're depressed for 5 years.
Well,
because
see,
of this incident.
That's when you're younger, like you. It's a little different to act with when you're older, like me. See, it's true what they say. Experience is everything. And as the older you get, when you're younger, you tend to get mad or violent or verbal. As you get older, you turn to cut out. And then as you cut out little by little, that's when you start changing yourself and connecting yourself with better people, because you're cutting away the fat. Once you cut the fat away, man, it's nothing but, protein and lean right there.
Yeah.
So that's how you would deal with it. Instead of like, getting verbal, getting violent, little by little, just, okay, I see this guy, he's kind of like not on my page. And he's a friend of mine, technically, because we've known each other, but he's trying to bring me down. Can't carry any anchors around me. You got to get rid of the anchors.
Yeah.
So.
I also feel like it's a game of leverage as well, where it's like, if you put yourself in a position, if you work on yourself, it doesn't even have to be like leverage in business or any of that. But you can have leverage, like wisdom leverage, I like to call it,
yeah.
where it's like, anything, anybody that comes at you, even somebody that like you had beef with a while ago. I have leverage now because like, I worked on myself. I'm able to be emotionally mature with these situations and not let it get to me.
And I really like how you're speaking, because at your age, you're not supposed to be there, and you're already there, so you're way ahead of the game. And having that, trait in you is a bonus. So you're smarter than the average bear right now, because people don't deal with stuff like that the way you're saying it. They deal with it the hardcore way. And if we can teach people how at your age to put that in their mind, man, that's a bonus.
Oh yeah,
that's a bonus.
And this is what this is all about. And the way I got there is just simply by asking myself, like, why? Just ask questions about life. Don't just take anything for granted. Like, understand the nature of reality and like why things happen the way they do, why you react the way you do. It's all a system of beliefs that you have in your mind, and that's how you just grow wiser.
100%.
Wisdom doesn't just have to come over the ages. It can come over understanding the correct things.
It's technically like that, Leo. You learn as you cross bridges. But if you learn it at your age the way you're learning it, man, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
That's a bonus. And if you can relay that to your generation, it's just going to get better.
Yeah.
It's just going to get better because, remember, you learn the hard way. And the hard way takes time to learn. And that's, not to change the subject, but I teach the young generation, listen, if you're not ready, find yourself something to do, either the armed forces, a career, but you can't be spinning your wheels, because when you're 25, 26, if you're not established, at least in a career, you're never going to get nothing out of it at the end of your career. So you need to do something now.
Yeah. And there's so much information out there nowadays with technology.
Oh my gosh.
Where it's like, just look at people, older people that have lived experiences, and talk about what I wish I would have told myself 30 years ago.
Leo, you have no idea.
You're literally cutting out so much of life, like in just that one video, and you're just retaining wisdom. Look for the wisdom. And wisdom to me is about understanding like life, like the everyday things of life, emotions, your thoughts. Like who you are.
Yeah. And sometimes, to that emotional part, sometimes you got to be a punching bag. And sometimes, people don't like to vent because they're embarrassed, or they don't know how to vent. And sometimes when they vent out at you, you need to be that punching bag, and you need to take what they're saying, not personal, but constructive.
Yeah.
And that way you can help them eliminate some of their situations,
Hurt people are hurt.
Yes.
Hurt people hurt people.
Yes, yes.
So it's like, understanding it from that perspective, it's like they're coming at you with anger, insecurity, fear, but it's not because they hate you. It's a personal thing.
They hate themselves.
Yeah. So
and they're saying, "Woe is me."
Yeah.
But let them bring it out. Sometimes you gotta say, "Man, listen, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Let me know, because maybe I was there." And you give them a different avenue. And if you can enlighten them just a little bit, that relieves pressure off them.
Yeah.
That relieves a lot of pressure.
Yeah. And you and me are doing that. I'm trying to do that with all my friends that
You're
are
doing
younger.
a great job.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you. This is great, man. Spreading the word. Positivity is awesome. You see me. I tell people all the time, life is good, bro. Life is good, and we make it our own life to make it good.
Oh yeah, life is truly good. And to wrap it up, what advice do you have for the younger generation?
Man, the young generation is, like I said, man, don't let nobody bring you down. There's going to be obstacles. There's going to be situations. Just wake up in the morning and say good morning and say, let's go, man. Let's get up there. Today something's got to happen, and it's going to change my life. And it could be you found $20. That changed your life. It could be like, hey, listen, I'm going to raise you a quarter an hour. That changed your life, but it's in a positive way. So wake up positive and go with a good attitude to work or to school or to practice. and go with good vibes, man, and the vibes come back. But if you come in there with the woe is me and the black cloud over you, man, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle. So wake up and run, brother.
Let's get fired up, baby. Thanks, Pipe.
All right,
I appreciate you being here.
You got it, Leo. Thanks for having me, my man.
Absolutely. All right. You got it, guys. Stay positive. It'll always come back to you.
I appreciate every one of you guys for staying until the end of this video. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave a like, and follow me on Instagram at fadethepublic_pod. I'll see you in the next one.